Tour of LogHaven, my home since 1988. LogHaven in Rainbow Lakes. Yes. I bought this house in '88. It was built in 1977 by John Caffaretta. He was the general contractor, and he was also an electrical contractor. He had an office in the garage that we'll be seeing. And so I am the second owner of this house. And I've done a lot of improvements, but it was a very good home to start with. So let's just take a walking tour through. I added this sidewalk and driveway in the late 1990s. It's concrete formed to look like cobblestones in a fan pattern. Turned out to be a very good investment. Under the steps, behind each step, you might notice it's lighted, so that at night you can see the steps when you're coming down, and that's off the timer. That's on the same timer as the lamp post light. Here you can see one of my many stained glass windows, Starry Night from the outside. We'll be seeing all of these. This is the northern side of the house, so there are many rhododendrons here doing very well. This would be the living room area. Nice large front porch. Might notice the Christmas tree lights up above. I have those on a timer too, and that washes the wall very good with an amber light in the evening. That looks very pretty.
Year-round Christmas
nice,
tree
lights. Large light fixtures that are off of a X10 motion detector. It also triggers a doorbell to go off when the lights come on. Here you can see 4 stained glass windows. This would be the kitchen area of the house. And actually underneath this complete porch, there is a crawl space storage area that's very nice for long-term storage. So with that, we can go into the front door. I want to show you the front door. It's a Dutch door. Actually opens in 2 parts. Very nice. Trick-or-treat time. You just take the glass out of the storm door and you can just open it that way. I normally just use it as one door though, as this pinch to keep them together. It's about 2,300 square feet altogether. But that doesn't include a 600 square foot garage and a very large basement that's developed into a workshop. This is the kitchen area. There's excellent lighting, as he was an electric contractor and I did a lot of improvements myself. I have made 4 outlets at each location here. You can see, so there's plenty of electrical outlets. I actually have custom made outlet covers that look like little log cabins. Nice under counter lighting. There's lighting above the counters, indirect lighting with a collection of log cabins you can see there. And a number of collages here above your head that represent a complete meal from breakfast time all the way to dessert. Very nice dishwasher that I never used, stainless steel lined. I newly installed it a few years ago, but really never use it. Nice double door profile GE refrigerator. Nice smooth top stove. It does have a quick hot water tap here for hot water on the tap. I never really use that as a built-in garbage disposer. 3-component sink. So, I think everything that one would like in a kitchen. Very accessible.
Nice windows.
Stained glass windows. I installed 11 garden windows. These are 2 of them. back when I installed the new roof. It was about 1997. On each garden window I put on the top. You can see a stained glass window to cut down the harshness of the light that enters from above. To the four windows, I call this the awesome foursome. No modesty. There's really no closet for jackets when you enter, so this is meant to be a very nice rack for coats for anyone that enters through the front door. Nice dry sink cabinet. Many stained glass fixtures. Let me turn this light on here. Nice stained glass fixtures. Very nice hutch. Of course, this is the living area. I mean, the living room. I mean, the dining room. Here's the living room. So, all three of these rooms are connected into one big space. And in this area, you have a cathedral ceiling where you can see all the way to the top. Two nice sunlights bring in light, make it very pleasant. First major addition I did was to add this sun porch. This originally was part of a wraparound deck. There was really no access except to the other side of the house. So this makes the interface between the indoors and the outdoors a very nice transition area. This is an excellent Vermont Castings wood stove. Used for many years, burnt many cords of wood. Keeps this area very nice and comfortable in the wintertime, and with just keeping this fan on slightly, it keeps a very good circulation, but I've gotten a little too old for burning that wood, so I've stopped.
Nice mantle.
Yeah, very nice chimney, fireplace. You can see all the stonework that was done. Very stable, very strong, very beautiful next to the exposed logs here. All the interior logs are exposed. And the ceiling is actually 2x6 knotty pine tongue and groove ceiling. And on top of that is basically 6 inches of rigid foam insulation and then a metal roof on top of that, which will be seen from the outside. This nice little cove. It's a very nice little sitting area. Nice lights on either side. Extremely long couch for fitting this space just right. And this is a representation of Van Gogh's Starry Night. Yes, the largest stained glass window here that I've made. If we look up above, the master bedroom is directly above the kitchen, and this balcony is off that master bedroom, which will be seen in just a moment. There's a track ceiling light. You can see there's room for track light anywhere along the ridge of the ceiling. Big lockable double French doors here. There are I think 5 zones of heating altogether. This is a separate zone for heating, but honestly I've never heated there in the wintertime. I've just closed it off. Here are 2 more of those garden windows. They make it very nice. You can get a nice breeze going through here when you open the windows on either side. Now this was actually a window before, as were these 2 doors. So, and this was an open deck, as was back there. And as I said, there was no access because these were just windows. So this, I think, made a tremendous difference in the house. This is Four Seasons greenhouse, the most expensive model they have, with the cedar ribs. And this is where I have my display of stained glass windows. This is on the north side too, so even in the summertime, this stays very comfortable. There is a called vent axial fan here. If I, oh no, I think I might not even have it hooked up anymore. Oh, there it is. Yes. So you can vent air in or out, whichever way you prefer. Here's access to the deck and back, but we'll go out there in just a minute after we see the house. There are nice lights here for the evening, and actually I have a lot of cable lights in the house too. And there's a cable light that runs underneath this quilt. These are quilts that will pull down in the wintertime if you want to and completely insulate this area. As it turned out, I don't really use it that often because I like the light coming in even in the wintertime. And if we come in here, this could be considered one of the 4 bedrooms, but me being single, I use it as a office. So this is where I have my computer. I've done many stained glass windows. Here is one of a peacock. Yes, that's nice. This is probably the smallest of the 4 bedrooms. Nice space. As he was, John was electrical contractor, he put lights into every closet. And I added to that this cord lighting, as you can see, which gives very good indirect lighting to all the closets. I paneled the lower half in cedar, and I put a full extension shelf here for full storage. So there's very good storage and very good lighting in all the closets. If you come out this way, here we come into a long hall. There's an automatic light detector to turn the light on. Here's a nice image. It's called a wall hanging done in a quilt, a fabric pattern of the home. Over here to the right is the first floor bathroom. Rather small, but it's very nice. Nicely decorated. Has 2 medicine cabinets, as you can see, with full storage capability, electrical outlet, extra storage shelves here, and I put shelves above the doors, which is nice for storage. And another stained glass window here. I covered all of the commodes with a oak cover and very nice oak seats. They're extended John. And probably the nicest thing is this is a jacuzzi whirlpool bathtub that I installed myself. It's very comfortable. What's very nice is you can get the water very deep, and probably the nicest feature of it is I have a separate circuit running here that maintains the water temperature. So what you do, you get the water just high enough to get the whirlpool going, and then you just squirt in completely hot water and it'll stay at that temperature, so it doesn't cool off like happens in most whirlpool baths. And this long hallway then goes back up to the living area. This is considered the second bedroom. This room I use virtually not at all, so it's just a miscellaneous storage area for now. Might notice I do have stained glass windows on the interior of this door. There was one on the other door too that I didn't show you. Again, here, this could be considered a jacket closet. Again, it's lighted. So from here, let's go upstairs, and we'll see there's 2 bedrooms upstairs, master bedroom and a guest bedroom. This stairway, you might notice the lights here. Again, I have cable lights. It's very nice in the evening. Cable lights under the handrail, so it gives a very good lighting. Carpeted stairs. I've caulked between all the logs, and when we put the roof on, I caulked all of the space between all the joints on the ceiling too, so it's very airtight room. This is the master bedroom. Quite large, as you can see. Almost all of the furniture I bought from the previous owner, as it fits so well. It's called a cannonball bed because of the big fixtures on it. Got the telephone up here. Here are two more of the garden windows. These are very nice. The backyard abuts a 35-acre open spaces wooded area. So it's very quiet in the back. You can see I have it heavily decorated. Nice large bed. Nice stained glass window here. Nice fixtures here. I put in the closet, I put a double rod here. So you have a tremendous amount of storage here for shirts. These are my summer shirts and these are my winter shirts there with lighting, as you can see. I actually have a lot of little storage areas like up here too for out of the way. I have more storage areas than I really need. It's always nice to have too much storage than too little. Here's another nice area in here, another nice little closet. Nice little cove here. Has some depth for some serious storage. You can see more cable lighting. I actually have a cable lighting too. The second switch does cable lighting down along there. A very nice ambience for night. There's also cable lighting here. Come out here, watch your head here. So here's the balcony. They have a very nice cable light. It actually goes under this rail here. It goes through that wall, goes along the top in that cove, and then goes along that last beam there on either side. So it gives a very nice indirect lighting at night. That's a nice storage area. I have atop that connecting beam there, but it's a little too far away to see anything, so I haven't put much there.
Or to reach.
Yes, hard to get there, yes. This is where I have the stereo speakers here, so this is very nice, gets them out of the way, and gives a very good sound to the whole living area. Oh, that's about it. There's track lighting, as I mentioned before, up above. Yeah, there's a little storage area, as you can see, above the door here, and above the closet. And here's a short hallway connecting the master bedroom to the bathroom and the guest bedroom. Here's another little garden window. There's a very nice linen closet in here, quite large. A lot of storage space. Well lighted, as you can see. Extra storage space on the doors. This is a three-way light. There's a switch here, a switch there, and a switch downstairs. So you can turn them on or off at any position. In here there are two light switches, one for the shower. Actually a light in the shower. And this is the upstairs bathroom, a little more room. Nice fixtures, nice bare mirror. If you notice the wallpaper too looks quite nice with all Johns of different eras. Stained glass window, Tiffany, that's all my favorite stuff. Yeah, this is a nice little storage area right here. I like those. Starry night, yeah. Towels up above. Little storage nook. And this is the guest bedroom. It's very nice because it's so quiet. It has good cross ventilation with so many windows. Two more garden windows here. And this again abuts the 35 acres of open spaces. You can look out here, you can get a good view of the backyard, which will be seen shortly. And And you might notice there's indirect lighting back here too with cable lights. So back here at night it looks very atmospheric with the lights behind the cable, with that behind the log, and also good lighting in both of the closets. I even have lighting under the waterbed here to make it very romantic. Yes. So those are the 4 bedrooms all together. Track lighting again up above. Thermostat. So this is one zone. Upstairs is one whole zone. There's no air conditioning, but there is a fan here. You know, there's no way around it. Some nights it is uncomfortable. There is an air conditioner though. Let me show you. Okay, so yeah, here, back here behind my entertainment center, this is where the big time air conditioner is. There's a special current line going to it. It's 220, I forget what it does. It's big time though. But I really end up never using it. But if you do close off the sun porch, it does make this area fairly comfortable, but it shoots out the air up here, and so the entertainment center is really in the way, and I never really used air conditioning anyway, so it wouldn't be easy to run ducts into this house, so I think you can just forget about air conditioning. Okay, so now we'll go on down to my basement, which is my workshop area. It's a light here. You can turn it on here and turn it off at the basement door. You might notice there are also cable lights under the rail, and not only that, there's a cable light under each step, so you can see your way very well. I put extra lighting in downstairs, so a tremendous amount of light. So this is a full basement, the full footprint of the house. We come over here in this corner. I won't go into utilities so much, but this is basically where electricity comes in, and if you didn't notice it from upstairs, the electricity comes in underground. It doesn't come in from above the house. Here's all the circuit breakers. This provides any voltage spikes. It's immediately so prevents it's a surge protector. Here's where the water comes in for the house, and big story about all the plumbing, but I won't go into that until after you buy the house. See my other tape. But over here I did change the boiler and the domestic hot water. This turned out very good. I did this in the 90s. This is a Crown Scotch Marine boiler. It's a very unique design, the way it absorbs the heat. Here's all the zones of heating, and this last zone over here is actually for hot water heat, which is done just as a zone of heating. So this is a oil-fired boiler. Got the stained glass window up there, the old workshop. Nice storage shelves here. Now when it comes to storage, you have a tremendous amount of overhead storage that I put up here. You can see all of these panels that I put up here. It's all good overhead storage. I have all my power tools up there. There's storage over here too for the same thing. Overhead, and then same thing, storage over here. That's where I keep all the patterns to my stained glass windows up above there. Now, John had an above ground pool in the backyard, so he didn't want people going in stairs, so he had a nice little john installed here, which I've fixed up, so it's very convenient. Because I do a lot of work down here in the basement, and it is heated. It has its own zone of heating, so I can work down here in the wintertime and be very comfortable. This area here is very effective for storage because it's so open, and I have everything stored in open boxes. that basically everything is very accessible. I have the back sliding glass door fixed up to be safely installed with the cat door. That is like burglar proof, but this gets you out to the back. But with the cat door there, I don't really use that. I use the side door, which we'll see in just a minute. Above, overhead, you can see you have significant more amount of storage on both sides and in the middle. And this is a very nice workspace here because it's so accessible. This is where I do really the majority of my work. There's good storage space back there. Here's more storage here. There's a very nice feature. This is a two-person sauna that I had special made in kit form and built and installed myself. I had it made extra low so I could get it. It's actually installed on casters. This is actually on 16 casters. And I have the electrical connection on a plug-in fitting. So I can unplug this and move it if I ever wanted to. And in fact, I did do that because I did retile all the floor. You can see the floor is solid concrete. And I put basically sticky tiles on top, and it has very good adhesion. The floor before it just wasn't sticking at all. And I went around all walls, and on the walls that are buried, like this wall is below grade. I put this permatite, it's a waterproofing cement-based paint, and then over that I painted it bright yellow to bring up the colors, because the basement is typically darker than you like. But this sauna is very nice because it has a 6,000 watt heater, so you can go into it cold, turn it on, and you really get like an immediate rush of heat. So it's very, very nice. I would use that after I would do a day's work. It was just a very good way of relaxing. Good storage area here. A lot of beer signs and red decorative that are actually off the wall switches. Two stained glass windows, very nice. Nice collection of antique washboards, which are very appropriate here because I have a pair of Maytag Neptune washer and dryer. Very nice. So
You don't use the washboards?
yeah, don't use the washboards. Yeah, I got spoiled by it. Yeah. Yes. Nice sink here. Always comes in handy to be able to clean stuff, and direct access to the outdoors, which we can go see now. So in 2003 I did a major landscaping project which changed this exterior significantly. Basically everything was done in railroad ties before and they were all rotting away. So now it's all done in masonry, meant to last a lifetime. So this is a very nice area in the morning. This is where the morning sun comes up. This little bench here is very nice for sitting on in the morning and capturing morning sun. It is just about the right amount of privacy because you can sit here and maybe you can see maybe some people walking by, but they don't really notice you. And there used to be access to the outside without going to the garage, but I changed it to make it much more private. So now if you want to go outside, you have to go through the garage. So this becomes a very private area. Here's where the power and phone line come in to the garage from the house. And these are actually quite removable. If you never needed to get in, you can just lift those up. So those are really just decorative. In here, this is a major garage, so where we're standing is where John Caffaretta had his office. There was actually a partition wall that went the full length of this garage, and so this was the door through which he entered his office, and it was long and narrow, and he had an office at the end. So I took that wall out. I completely rewired everything in the basement to suit my needs. I put in a sub panel. I put in all the wiring so the lights were controlled here. I put in a drop ceiling. I refinished the floor in epoxy resin paint, so it's a very nice waterproofed floor. I paneled the complete garage and real wood paneling completely, so it's a very nice space. It's probably about 600 square foot. Plenty of room for one car, you can see. And I even have room for my riding mower here. And a big cart that I use to do a lot of my work. A lot of good storage here too for the car. There's even a stained glass window here. These are replacement vinyl windows that I put in a while back. Up above here you can store long pieces of wood. And we didn't have enough storage already. I replaced this ladder. Do you feel comfortable going up there? Yes. So, and I actually upholstered all of this storage space. And I strengthened the garage by, you can see all those bolts on the pieces of wood to make all the joints pretty strong. There's a cupola up above on the top of the garage that we'll see when we go outside. This is very nice storage, a very nice vents there on either side that it's still warm, but it keeps it ventilated. Nice lighting, put the lighting in. Okay, so that's about it in the garage. This will probably go with the garage too. This is nice little storage, but it's on wheels, so you can move it around. I always like to put things on wheels. Turn the lights off, we can go on out. So I guess by doing that we missed the deck, so let's go upstairs and see the deck. Of course you can get to the deck three ways. You can get to the deck by this stairway. And this door goes into that hallway that we were in, of course. And on the other side is the sun porch. But this is a very nice space because it's so very quiet. It is covered. It's a little warm. You can put on the ceiling fans, which are very decorative for a little circulation. Beautiful view of the backyard. And nice, very nice barbecue. Very nice benches here. These two benches turn into picnic tables. You put them back to back to each other, and put them flat. They turn into a set of picnic tables. Sort of has a feeling of Austrian feel maybe with the way the rail is. But this is the east facing, so you get very strong morning sun on this side all the way up until the afternoon. Here you can see what the garden windows look like from the outside. There's a nice little flying pig weather vane on the top. And over here, I can see this is the entry to the sun porch. Actually, as that blind is there above the door, I have blinds for all of those windows on this end plus the door, but I ended up taking them off because I didn't think it was necessary. We look down here. So one thing I might mention, the property line is much closer on this side than you would expect. Actually, you would expect the property line to be down in between the center of the houses, but actually the property line comes very close to this bird house here that we see, so because it comes off at an angle. So just realize that that dogwood tree there is really on my neighbor's property, and I needed their permission to plant that. But having said that, that really isn't a problem any longer, other than being just very close. This is part of the landscaping project. This is where we had the oval above ground pool, which is now, you can see, a raised paved area. Very nice. Good sun. Nice fenced in area for a dog. And with the landscaping project, I planted about 200 trees and shrubs altogether. They're all done on a planting bed with landscaping fabric and pine bark mulch and soaker hoses. In case you ever have a drought, you wouldn't have to worry about not being able to water your trees. But actually, I've never had to water them. There's no irrigation system for the lawn, but as you might know, there are watering restrictions every year regardless of rainfall now, and I found just irrigation systems to be more trouble than they're worth. And as you can see from the look of the lawn, it's been a particularly nice summer, but the lawn typically stays moist enough anyway without having to be irrigated. And these trees that I put in, these larger trees I put in the early 90s, most of the lawn is under intermittent shade. This doghouse is very nice. I built this out of leftover roofing material. So this is actually the same roofing material that is on the roof. That's this metal. And it was actually a winter doghouse too here, a smaller doghouse for when it's cold. Actually, I have a front for this too, and I could make this into a winter doghouse too. And I put up this petition here. If there ever a situation where you need to keep a dog upstairs, that just goes right in that slide there. And so this would look, I had this before I had a fenced-in yard was completed. But it's very nice to have on occasion where you might need to do that.
Dogs or small children in.
Yes. Now this area under the deck is a very nice place to hang out too because it's so quiet and so remote. It's shaded. This is actually a storage facility that I have for all the wood that I split and burned in the wintertime. It would hold a good cord. But I've got out of that business, so I don't really use it for storing wood anymore. There's excess scrap wood that I keep up above here. It's very good for storage space. You might notice on the side of the garage that there's these bat houses. Actually, I think 9 altogether. I think I have 7 here on the property. 2 of them are always occupied, not always, but every season. This one and the one on the same side on the other side. It's very good to have bats here because this is a moist area. Get a lot of small bugs at night, and you can see the bugs, you can see the bats flying around eating the bugs, and I like having them. Plus, there are well over 100 bird houses of 2 different types. The ones around the house are almost always occupied. The ones out in the back aren't occupied as often. They're quite often occupied by flying squirrels. Very nice plantings. Here's my favorite lace leaf maple. I actually transplanted this from my previous home in Rainbow Lakes, where I moved from. It's a very nice bird bath that I keep very clean for the birds. They use it all the time. Very pleasant. Nice holly. This is a very nice open area here. A lot of decorative half circles and full circles here to decorate the pavers. There's very good night lighting. With one switch, you can turn on all these mercury lamps. It gives tremendous, and they're all around the house and all around the garage. You get very good lighting tonight if you ever wanted to. After I added the sun porch, I enclosed this area under the sun porch with these garden ties that look like logs too. So it is very much in keeping with the home. And I added lighting inside here. And this is basically a storage area for all my garden equipment. So I keep virtually all my garden equipment here against the wall. Here you can see here are logs that I cut out from when I made the sun porch. So these came out from where the windows were to change them into doors. Here's a storage area for very long pieces of wood. So I've got these racks completely along here, very convenient for long pieces. I removed the underground oil tank and had it replaced with this 330 gallon above ground oil tank. It has a gauge right on the top. So it's very convenient. Actually, the floor is insulated to the sun porch, but I don't really heat it. But if I were to heat it, it has good insulated qualities to it. And this door is lockable, and all doors go off the same key. So that's a nice feature. So to get out of the backyard, you have that one gate on the corner here. You have this one gate here, and you have this wide gate here, which is very good because you can get in with the riding mower to mow this area. And if we come over this way, I'll show you the side of the property. This property, it's a 175-foot frontage and 250 feet deep. That's almost one acre. And it's actually two separate lots. One lot being 100 foot, which is what the lot that the house is on, and the other being a 75-foot unbuildable lot, which is right here. But the 75-foot is actually in the middle of the garage, starts in the middle of the garage, so just view it as one big lot, but it's on two separate bills. The taxes last year were, I believe, almost $8,000 for both lots altogether. There was a reevaluation done about 5 years ago. Yes. And over here, this is all a planting bed, so this would all be mulch with stoker hoses. This property line, this fence is exactly on the property line. So there's no problem over here. I have a lot of these Alberta dwarf spruce here. These are dwarf maples. These are columnar type spruce. It's dogwood, Norway maple, sycamore, and that largest tree there, that's a green poplar, flowering pear. So very nice variety. You can see there's good lawn here. It's easy to maintain. Has a very nice edge there for getting a good edge. This is for water flow. When the water comes down, when it really starts running, it'll go into this channel and run down without making any grooves. And there is a second level down there, which we'll see from the other side, which is another planting bed, which we can only see the tops of from here. And this is the whole property here. Where the riding mower comes in very convenient, as it makes this a joy to maintain. And these look particularly nice. It's unusual here that normally they install these blocks always level. So what we did, we put these in a bed of concrete rather than a bed of gravel, and we put them at an angle. So that made it very nice to make these three planters and that corner planting bed up there, you know, very distinguished and very good continuity with the rest of the landscape. We'll go down here to the back of the property. So what you've seen here is about half the property, because going back to here, it's probably just about 100 feet. But the property goes back 250 feet, so really have a lot more to see. So, good morning. This is the next day. This is August of 2008. I wanted to show you the backyard, but before we do, I wanted to show you a couple of items that I missed yesterday. And the first would be this nice ballpark that's directly across the street. It's owned by the township. And it has a nice children's play area. It's a beautiful area to walk the dog. Over to the right is also another park. They call it a mini park, a very nice little area. So this makes it very nice, especially for leaf blowing in the fall. I basically just blow all the leaves right over this ridge here, and it makes it very easy to get rid of them. And they can just decompose and recycle right there. And this whole area, I put in all these wood chips and did this improvement for the township. Didn't have anybody complain. And of course there's the fire hydrant right across the street, which always makes the insurance company very happy. Yes. And so with that, we'll now just take a quick pan of the whole scene here. Might notice that nice little mailbox to look like a log cabin, and it actually has the same roofing material as the roof. Might point out the roof from here. The roof has this 6 inches of rigid foam insulation under the metal top, and it is vented, so it's very well insulated, and it has a 50-year warranty. So it was put in the late 90s. And right after we put that roof in, we put in this driveway, which I told you about yesterday. It was the sidewalk we saw, but it's all one integrated unit, the sidewalk and the driveway. Might mention too, if you just look down this way at the curb, I had this curb installed, and actually the street technically should be 30 feet wide, 15 feet from the center. But this road is more like 20 feet wide. So when I got the permit to install the curb, the township made a compromise and just moved the curb back 3 feet back from what is the real edge of the road. And really the township property comes back 2 more feet because it should be back 5 feet. So that's the situation there. But it's all done legally, and we do have the permit. Sinclair, come on, Sinclair. And this driveway again, I've got a lot of compliments on this. You might look right over here. There's their stamp right here, Momonite. Yes, excellent job. Hasn't cracked, but one place. It's 4,000 PSI concrete with fiber reinforcing. Excellent crew laid it. This is like 6 inches thick here, 4 inches thick here. Only crack I've had is right here. So it's very well sealed. Beautiful. Got a lot of compliments on it. Nice wide garage. You come over here, you can see there's a very decorative little cupola on top with a weather vane. And actually that cupola has a little light on inside that's triggered photo optically and comes on in the evening. There's of course an entrance here through the garage that we saw yesterday. Through the garage into the backyard. Very nice feature too, if you come up here and look in front of the garage, all the water. And you got to realize during a heavy rainfall that with this pitch, the water is going to move fairly fast. All the water comes down and is picked up in this drain here in front of the garage door. And it comes and goes through a 4-inch Schedule 40 sewer pipe. That's the thickest walled pipe that you can buy, very strong. You can stand on it, won't even break. And that catches not only water from the driveway, but also from the downspouts. I might mention every downspout from the roof goes into a drainage line, so it never exits onto the lawn. This side of the garage is very decorative. You can see it looks very much like the other side because it has bat boxes and bird boxes. There's that vent at the top. There's that mercury vapor lamp. This downspout, you can see, comes down into the same drain line. All these drain lines come together and exit into the drainage canal, which will be seen shortly. There, we installed over 1,000 feet of drain line and sewer line when we did this project. Here's the fenced-in area that we saw yesterday. And I think I mentioned this little washway here. If any water is to run off the lawn, it follows this path, so that prevents any erosion. Stop it. So this is the land bridge. Now this is a very good transition. It's quite aesthetically pleasing because the living half of the property is very formal. As you can see, everything is very neat and tidy, although it still looks natural. And as we go across the land bridge, it's very welcoming, flaring out like this, and it makes the transition to a more of a natural park-like setting. Still not unattended, but very natural, very green, fairly easy to maintain. I've done a lot of work on the trees, on taking out dead branches and thinning them. There's this nice tree chime that you can see right here. It's 150 pounds. Very nice sound. There's two thistle feeders, bear-proof, one on your left and one on your right. And here's a close-up of these birdhouses. You can see it's vented on the bottom and it's away from the tree, so as the tree grows, it doesn't damage the house, because you can see from the side that there's a spring there to pick up that growth. Now this is the sewer line. Actually comes through the back of the house, so it exits the corner of the house, comes across the land bridge, and this is the first clean out sewer point here. Actually, we replaced the whole sewer line back to the point I'm going to show you. Before I replaced it, it had done a lot of settling, so a lot of sewage would sit at this spot here because the line had settled and it wouldn't make it all the way to the sewage main. But now that's not a problem, as we replace this line with the Schedule 40 thick walled pipe. Sewage pipe before was thin walled, and it actually comes right through this planting bed. And we replaced the sewage line all the way up to here. From here on, it's the old sewage line. This artificial rock here is another clean out for the sewage line. Then there's a final clean out. Which would be that. There's a little fake rock between the trees back there. That's the final clean out. And the sewage main we'll see when we get back to that area. But if you look over here, it's a very decorative setting. This is where I keep my bear stick when I go for a walk in the woods. Probably not really necessary. Don't see too many bears. It's been years since I did see one, but makes me feel a little safer. And here's a nice purple martin birdhouse. There's another one just like that back further, and then there's another one on the corner of the property. We can't see it right now. And there's another martin house over on that corner. So that's in addition to all the single bird houses you have. All of these evergreens I planted myself over the years. They were very small originally. Here's a nice thinking bench here that you can sit and view. In fact, maybe let's take a look at the house from this side of the property, as you can get a feeling for the number of blocks that were used for retaining walls. We actually used 110 pallets of retaining wall blocks. Each one of those blocks is 85 pounds and cost me $25 each installed. But of course there were a lot of other charges too. This is a drainage canal that crosses the property here, and it feeds into the Rainbow Lakes system. Most of the water actually comes from street runoff rather than from the 35 acres of wooded forest behind us. Here you can see the second level of this planting bed. All of these trees here makes it look very nice from this side. I might mention too that I have a map of all of my properties, planting beds, the route of the soaker hoses, and I have each tree and shrub identified and its species, its scientific name, and what it likes. This cute little whirligig right up here shows off my earlier surfing days. And maybe we'll look now for the perimeter of the property. I hauled in truckloads of wood chips by hand over time to make this area very pleasant. You can see it's very much park-like, yet natural. I might...
5 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, we need another piece.
Yes, okay. Yeah, I think we can finish it up. Yes, and you should realize, though, that this drainage canal is considered a wetlands. Now the property line really follows this fence. If we look at this fence line, that follows exactly the property line. It just continues back for 250 feet. It is approximately, this point where Bill is, right here. So this would be one corner of the property line. It's not an exact position, but it's approximate. And this area back here is where the sewage line is located, and in the 90s I gave the township a temporary easement to gain access back here to improve the drainage on that drainage canal. So that's why this area is so open, because they had heavy equipment back here to go back and forth. But this wood is probably pretty close to my edge of my property line. This is all good treated wood. It's left over from the deck that was in my backyard before I did the landscaping project. And if we look off back over this way, this is really the start. This is abuts the open spaces, 35 acres of space. Many walking trails. There's a lighted soccer field and baseball field about 3/4 of a mile in that direction. Other than that, it's completely wooded. This is a deer lick. There's quite a few deer, maybe 15 deer live in this area, and they use my property as a crossing bridge to go from the woods to the ballpark across the street. And you can see this is the back boxes and birdhouses that I put up. The other corner of the property is the one that the owner didn't really understand when he built the house. I might mention, when I added the sun porch, I had to get a variance because there was just a 8-foot side setback rather than a full 10-foot setback that's required because of his misunderstanding of where the property line is. And if I were to stand right on the property line, I would say it's probably right about here. So if you would do a straight line here from here to where the base is of that birdhouse that you see there on the left, then that's approximately where this property line is. It's rather close. I would have preferred that he built the house in the center of the property, but that didn't happen. But hey, there can be worse things. All of the trees that are left here are quite healthy. Belgian block left over after putting in the curb, so I use them as a decorative border along here. Basically, this is quite a marshy area with occasional large rocks, quite moist. And I think you've seen pretty much all of it. Let's maybe just stop.
Okay.
Okay, so We just have 2 minutes left, and we're going to finish it off by walking around the other side of the house. This is a very convenient spot. I was going to make this a planting bed originally, but decided not to, so I can do my riding mower along this way. Here's that fourth purple martin house that I was telling you about. There's a frog down there or something. Oh, it's a snake. Something is down there. See it moving? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't know what it was.
What a frog.
Yeah. So I did plant this nice dogwood, but actually it's not on my property. It's on my neighbor's property. So really, most of this ground over here is the neighbor's property. We can show you up at the front. Let's hurry up to the front so we get it within 2 minutes. There's a marker on the exact property line corner. So here you can notice the downspouts. They all come down. One major drain comes down this way, picks up that downspout. There's a downspout over there, picks up a floor drain down there. Picks up this major downspout here, which is the whole front part of the roof. Just like that. Samson, come up here quick. Stop it, stop it. Come right up here. This mark is a surveyor's mark right on the lot that this shows the corner of the property. In fact, this is exactly where it is because you can see this is 2 feet back from the curb. So this is actually where the township property starts and my property begins. When it comes back here, the owner thought it went off 90 degrees. It doesn't go off, it goes back at an angle. So that's why the house was really built.